Hello student, today we are discuss about the vibration of stretched string. In superposition, we can discuss about the vibration of stretched string. For that purpose, we have to draw here the figure of the stretched string. Therefore, when string is plucked between the two rigid support, then let us consider this string is support is supposed to be stretched between the two stretched string. This is the first mode of vibration, where string is plucked fixed between the two rigid support. Therefore, we have to draw here first mode of vibration. Then after that, second mode. There are two loops present. This is the first mode of vibration. This is figure B represent second mode of vibration. Second mode of vibration. And C figure represent third mode of vibration. Let us consider the string of length L. String of length L. It is fixed between the two support, that is between the two rigid support. Then consider the string of length L. And then when this string is plugged at the middle point, it is plugged at the middle point, or by using another tuning fork, then at that time transverse waves are created at the fixed end, and due to superposition of, when these transverse waves are reflected from their ends, then superposition of this transverse wave, reflected wave and incident wave, then due to superposition stationary waves are formed. We know that stationary waves, when two identical simple harmonic progressive wave, transverse progressive wave, travel along same path but in an opposite direction, then resultant wave is obtained in the form of loop, and that loop it is called as stationary wave. In first case, first mode of vibration, one loop is formed. Then we know that antinode is formed at the middle of the wire or this length string, and nodes are formed at the closed end. antinodes are formed at the middle end. Therefore, distance is in first case L is equal to lambda by 2, and in second mode L is equal to lambda 1. L is equal to 3 lambda 2 divided by 2. Let us consider T is tension, M is mass per unit length, rho is density, lambda 1 is the wavelength of wave, and this wave fixed between the two support. Then transverse waves are created. Then a superposition of these two transverse wave. Here we can get a resultant stationary wave, and that resultant stationary wave is called as vibration of stress strain. We get 3 modes in first case. We know that in first mode of vibration, that is first loop is formed. Then we know that V is equal to N lambda, N is equal to V by lambda. This is first equation. V is the velocity of wave, N is the frequency, lambda is the wavelength of wave. Let us consider velocity V is equal to N lambda, N is equal to V by lambda. Say this equation number 1. Then after that, when first loop is formed, then let us consider small l is the length of string. Then distance between two successive nodes. We know that distance between two successive nodes. Here node is formed at the closed end. Antinode is formed at the middle. Antinode means the amplitude of vibration is maximum. Then we can call that antinode, and amplitude of vibration is 0. Then we can call that nodes are formed at the closed end. Antinode is formed at the middle of this string. Here antinode is formed, here node is formed. Then here node is formed. Then distance between two successive nodes is lambda by 2 in first case. Then in second case, when distance between two successive nodes, then we can get distance between two successive nodes, that is lambda by 2 plus lambda by 2. Then we can get lambda. Therefore, length of in second case we can get the distance L is equal to lambda by lambda 1. In first mode, this is second mode. In third mode, we know that distance is lambda plus lambda by 2. Lambda plus distance between two successive nodes is also lambda by 2. Therefore, 2 lambda plus lambda divided by 2. Therefore, we can get distance 3 lambda by 2. Therefore, we can, for next mode of vibration, the distance we get here 3 lambda by 2. Then after that, this is about the when loops are formed. What is the distance between these 2 points? Therefore, when one loop is formed, distance is here lambda by 2. And when 2 loops are formed, then distance is lambda. And when 3 modes are formed, then distance is lambda plus lambda by 2. That is 3 lambda by 2. Then after that, we can calculate the equation of this tensor string. That is, in 11th standard, we also discuss about the properties of transverse wave. That is characteristic of transverse wave. Then in that characteristics, we know that velocity of transverse wave, it is given by V is equal to square root of T pi m. in 11th standard we can discuss about that. And in first mode, but in first mode, say this equation number 2. In first mode, in this case, here T is tension. In that case, V is velocity of wave. V is velocity of wave, transverse wave. T is the tension in the string. M is mass per unit length. Mass per unit length of the string, that is linear density. We can call this linear density. Then after that we can discuss about the equation here, that is for first loop here distance is L is equal to lambda by 2. Lambda is equal to 2L. Say this equation 3. Say this equation 3. Put this that is put this equation in the equation 1. Put this 2 and 3 in 1. We get here equation by using 1 N is equal to 1 divided by 2L square root of T by M. Say this equation number 4. This is the fundamental frequency of vibration of this stretched string. This is about the fundamental frequency of this stretched string, and it is depends on length, tension, mass per unit length. This fundamental frequency of vibration, it is depends on, that is length, tension, mass per unit length of this string. Then this, after that, this equation we can calculate the for second mode of vibration. Then after that we can calculate for second mode of vibration. For B, for second mode of vibration. Here we can see the distance is lambda 1. That is 2 loops are formed. Then the distance between two successive nodes, lambda by 2, here we get lambda 1. This is the distance for 2 loops. When loops are formed for next mode, therefore we can consider here L is equal to lambda 1. Then say this equation 5. Then V is equal to L lambda. N is equal to V by lambda. Then we know that L is equal to, but V is equal to square root of T by M, and therefore equation N is equal to, by putting this value, that is 6, put 5 and 6, put equation 5 and 6 in equation 7. Therefore we get N is equal to 1 divided by L square root of T by M. Then lambda 1 value is 1 by L. Then multiply and divide this equation by 2. We get multiply and divide to this equation by 2. Therefore we can get here equation is here n is equal to 2 divided by 2L square root of T by M. But this quantity is also again this quantity is again fundamental frequency. Therefore we can call this n1 lambda 1. Therefore n1 is equal to, for second mode we can consider this frequency n1. Therefore we can call this 2n here because this is fundamental frequency. N is equal to, since n is equal to 1 by 2L square root of T by M. This is fundamental frequency. Therefore n1 we get for second mode 2L. Then this is about the second mode of vibration. That is we n1. N is the fundamental frequency, n1 is the next mode of frequency. Then after that we can discuss about the for third mode of vibration. For third mode of vibration, this is for second mode of vibration. For third mode, here we can see in this figure. There are 3 loops are formed. Therefore, distance between two successive nodes is lambda 1. After that, distance between two successive nodes is lambda 2. Lambda by 2 divided by lambda 1. Then by adding these 2 loops, for third node we get distance get here 3 lambda by 2. Therefore we can write here L is equal to 3 lambda by 2 divided by 2. Therefore we can get here lambda 2 is equal to 2L by 3. Say this equation number 6 or 7. Next equation 7. That is, but V is equal to N lambda. V is equal to N lambda. Then now N is equal to V by lambda. N is equal to V by lambda. Then after that we can put here this equation, that is N is equal to lambda 2 N2 consider. For next mode of vibration, next frequency is considered. Therefore N2 is equal to lambda 2. Then here also consider lambda 2. N2 is equal to, here frequency is V is square root of T by M, and lambda 2 is equal to 2N by 3. 2L by 3. Therefore, by putting this, we can get 3 divided by 2L. That is, N2 is equal to V 2L by 3 square root of T by M. Then 3 goes to the upper side, that is 3 divided by 2L square root of T by M. Therefore, we can get here next N2 is equal to 3N. Therefore, because since N is the fundamental frequency, therefore N is fundamental frequency, we can get frequency N2 is equal to 3N. This is about the third mode of vibration. We can get frequency, that is 3N, integral multiple of fundamental frequency. Then N is the fundamental frequency. In this equation, we can get for first fundamental frequency, we can get here N is equal to 1 divided by 2L square root of T by M. This is called as, this is fundamental frequency of vibration of stretched string. In this case, it depends on N depends on first length of string. Then it depends on tension. This fundamental frequency of vibration of the string depends on length of string, then tension in the string. Also, it depends on third quantities, mass per unit length of this string. And we can get with three frequency, that is N is equal to 2N, N1 is equal to 2N and N2 for first mode, we get fundamental frequency, and for second mode we can get N1 is equal to 2N and N2 is equal to 3N. Therefore, we can write for fifth fundamental frequency, we can write it is Pn and P is equal to, it is integral multiple of fundamental frequency. Then after that, from this formula we can discuss about the laws of vibrating string. When the string is plugged at the middle point, then there are three loops are formed. Then this is about the frequency of the vibration of the string. But after that, we can discuss about the law of string. In this case, you can remember about the vibration of string, that is fundamental frequency is N is equal to 1 divided by 2L square root of T by M. Then we can discuss about the laws of vibrating string. Laws of vibrating string. This frequency depends on length, tension, mass per unit length. Then after that we can discuss about the laws of vibrating string. Then after that we can discuss about first law of length law of length. First, law of length. Then we can say that the fundamental frequency of vibration of the stretched string. Fundamental frequency of vibration of the stretched string. It is inversely proportional to the length. If T and M are constant, that is fundamental frequency is inversely proportional to length of string. This is law. If T and M are constant, therefore we can write here N is inversely proportional to 1 by N. That is, when T and M are constant, N 2 also constant, then this N is inversely proportional to the length of string. Then after that, second, law of tension, that is fundamental frequency of vibration, fundamental frequency of vibration. We can say that fundamental frequency of vibration is directly proportional to square root of tension. In this case, that is, if L and M are constant, if this L and M are constant, then N is directly proportional to the T. If L, M are constant. Therefore, this is second law. Then third law linear density or mass per unit length. Third, law of mass per unit length or linear density, that is M. From this case, N is inversely proportional to square root of M. That is, if L and T are constant, then L and T are constant, then N is inversely proportional. This is fundamental frequency of vibration of the string. It is inversely proportional to the square root of mass per unit length or linear density. Then this is law. Then after that, linear density. It is equal to mass per unit length. We know that linear density means mass per unit length. Then mass per unit length. After that, volume per unit length. It is we know that density is equal to mass divided by volume. Mass is equal to density into volume. That is density. Therefore, Next law, we can say that is, we can, when this linear density is mass per unit length and mass per unit length, you know that density means mass divided by volume. Therefore, volume per unit length. Therefore, we can get volume of wire or string. It is pi r square L divided by L into rho. Pi r square divided by L into L divided by rho. Therefore, this get cancel. We can remaining term is pi r square rho. Therefore, we can get this linear density M is equal to pi r square rho. Therefore, N, it is, we can fundamental frequency, we can say that pi r square rho. Therefore, we can write here pi r square rho. Fundamental frequency, it is inversely proportional to the square root of density as well as it is inversely proportional. Pi is constant here, and it is inversely proportional to square root of density, and as well as it is proportional to the inversely proportional to the square root of radius. This square and square root get cancelled. Therefore, N, it is directly inversely proportional to the R. From this, it is clear that these laws are depending upon the fundamental frequency of vibration of the stretch string. First law is law of length. If these two terms are constant, then N, fundamental frequency of vibration of the stretch string, it is inversely proportional to the length of string. If T and M are constant. Second law is fundamental frequency of vibration of the stretch string, it is directly proportional to the square root of tension if L and M are constant, and this fundamental frequency of vibration of the stretch string, it is inversely proportional to the square root of linear density or mass per unit length of this string if L and T are constant. Also, we can derive this, that is, this fundamental frequency, it is inversely proportional to the square root of density as well as it is inversely proportional to the radius. Thank you.